Hello, Internet. This is Lucar, also known as the Dancing Fetus,
And goddammit.
and this is our episode 6 podcast.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's just start off like we try to start off every podcast, and just easy question. What have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing Devil May Cry, and I started playing Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z today.
Yep.
So that one I'm kind of going to see how people react to it before I see if I continue it. Because Devil May Cry is I'm going to finish it. Yaiba's, I actually am enjoying what I've played of it. So I don't mind doing a walkthrough thing of it, but, if nobody wants to watch it or anything, then I'll just play it on my own.
Yeah.
But that's
I wouldn't even give a shit about it. Just it's there.
yeah.
Deal with it, bitch. It's on my channel. You don't like it? Fuck off. It's there.
I've had a couple people that I met through the network that I'm affiliated with now, the Freedom Network. I met a couple people through that they've said they wanted to collaborate some, so I might be able to do some videos with them. There's some that might be playing like some Killing Floor.
That's cool.
Random stuff, and yeah, it'd be fun to see what I'm doing there. But what about you?
Well, I'm going to start playing Strife, because that's going to be my first MOBA, because I've been wanting to play MOBAs forever, but I don't want to suck really bad, and from what I hear, Strife's like a noob MOBA, so I'm going to be playing that. I'm going to start playing Quake again, because Quake Live's on Steam. There's been some controversy over some of the changes they've made to the game, but I'm still going to play it because it's going to be fun. Still doing Onimusha for the videos, and I'm doing Still Soldier of Fortune for the videos. I haven't really done anything but those two games as far as recording, but I've been playing FTL again. I still play from time to time Crusader Kings, but shit, that is a spreadsheet simulator, man. That is a hard game. It's cool, and when a plan that you set out works out, it's one of the coolest feelings in the world. But 90% of my plans are utter dog shit, and they fall apart the second I try to do it. Like, I'll try to get someone into my scheme, and they're just like, that's a goddamn horrible idea. I'm going to go notify the person. I'm like, no! And then I got to try to create a scheme to kill that guy before he starts spreading a bunch of shit. And that guy's like, why do you want to kill that guy? That guy's awesome. Fuck it, you. I'm going with him. Like, I'm a king. Why don't you love my ideas? You're my subjects.
You're supposed to care about me.
You're supposed to be fucking yes men. But, So I don't play it that much because I suck at the game, but I appreciate the game. I'm glad I got it from a Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't played Strife yet. I've created a character. I've read a lot on how you're supposed to play.
Yeah.
But I still don't 100% know what I'm getting into. Just
you might have to explain to some people what MOBA games are.
I would love for someone to sit down and 100% explain to me what MOBA games are. Basically, it seems like kind of an RTS mixed with RPG leveling elements, but it's like player versus player type stuff. So you basically you don't create a character. I said create a character. I meant create an account. There's heroes that you choose from. So there's like a number of heroes, and they each have different special abilities, and so you pick one of them, and as you're playing the game, your biggest goal is to level your character and get gold for your team as fast as humanly possible. So you get XP by killing they're called like minions or something. I don't know. They're like NPCs. They're non-play, like players aren't controlling them. They're just like spawned shit that comes at you. And so you kill them to get experience points, which levels up your character. And when you level up, you then can like buy better abilities, and it also increases certain stats and things like that. But the other big thing is to get gold, because you have to use gold to buy your abilities when they come unlocked from when you level.
Yeah.
The only way you can get gold is if you get last hit. So that means if an enemy is getting, like, say 3 people are fucking up an enemy, only the person that gets last hit will get the gold from it, but everybody will get the experience.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little bit less, from what I understand, a little bit less punishing than some other MOBAs. Like Dota 2 is apparently last hit only. Like you don't get jack shit unless you get the last hit on the enemy.
Wow.
So a lot of the strategy comes with getting last hit, and then also leveling up your character, and then you have to like do things where you have to like push lanes and stuff, because you win by like destroying the other person's base.
Yeah.
Well, there's these towers and stuff that are on the map that do shit tons of damage that you have to like kind of have to take it a node at a time, and then once you like push them further back and you kill the other players, because there's a respawn time that normally gives you enough time to kill their base.
Yeah.
This is an explanation from someone that has never played one, but has only read the rules for Strife, so it might be a lot different if you're playing a Dota or something like that, because Strife, like I said, is kind of noob friendly.
Yeah.
From what I've read, like this is a good MOBA to start with. First of all, it has very similar mechanics to like your Leagues of Legends and your Dotas, but it's just a whole lot easier to kind of get in and play. Where Blizzard is coming out with their kind of noob-friendly MOBA. And from what I understand, that game's a whole lot of fun, because they only have it in a closed beta right now or something.
Yeah.
That game's a whole lot of fun, but a lot of people are saying that if you ever wanted to maybe graduate to like a big boy MOBA, like your League of Legends or your Dota 2, Strife is probably a better entry point, because the mechanics are more similar. Where apparently Blizzard's has like this weird shit in it. I don't 100% understand what they're talking about. Hopefully I will understand when I actually start playing the fucking game.
Yeah.
Quake is just a Twitch first-person shooter, and that means you there's people running around, you put your crosshairs on them, and you click, and they die. So that's a whole lot easier to explain. I get that game.
Yeah.
I get pointing and exploding people.
Yeah.
But
as long as they're not rocket jumping masters, that just...
Man, that's one thing about Quake 3 that I didn't really get the metagame of it, of just movement. Like, so much of that game is map knowledge, knowing when things are going to spawn, and movement. Like, timing your, like, because you move faster if you're jumping.
Yeah.
So, timing your jump so you're, like... It's really crazy. If you ever have time to like watch some really high level play, QuakeCon this year had their annual LAN party, and they always do a Quake. It used to be Quake 3 competition. Now it's Quake Live.
I watched the
duels.
The duels.
Yeah, and see, right now on Quake Live it's free, and they just put it on Steam, so there's no point, like there's no reason not to check it out. The duel mode is in there. So, and apparently dueling's where the competitive scene is. So, there's not like team deathmatch and stuff that much in the competitive scene. It's all about the one-on-one murder fests.
And it's pretty wild.
I suck at the game.
Yeah, I mean, once I watched a guy speedrun the first Quake in 17 minutes, that's when I just knew that I wasn't exactly anywhere near even the average. Of the game.
I've been really wanting to play Counter-Strike Go.
That's another one that, like, I would play it on consoles, but I don't think I would play it on PC just because the PC players are so good at it that it's just nigh impossible to do anything. It's people just like being so behind the curve.
Like, people say that, but there's so many shitty players in the world that just play nonstop because they don't... If you just play it because you like playing it, and you don't have the desire to get better, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, I watched a YouTube video of this guy teaching you spread. So, like, each gun... Like, it's kind of weird that Counter-Strike does this. Like, each gun has, like, a recoil pattern, and it's always the same recoil pattern. So what you do is you memorize the recoil pattern, and then you move your mouse in the opposite direction of the recoil pattern, so all your bullets hit the same block.
Yeah.
So like every time, so right when you do a burst, you know every single burst is hitting your target instead of just like spraying around everywhere, which seemed really neat. But honestly, every game you start, you're going to be kind of trash at.
I'm just talking about the people that, you know, have been playing it since it dropped, and they really, that's all they still play. and they're so amazingly good at it that
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna be tournament ready, but I mean, I'll be able to be competitive. Apparently, the matchmaking in Counter-Strike Go is just dog shit. So they don't really level matchmake that well.
Mm,
So yeah, you're gonna get in there where people are just absolutely amazing, but still,
yeah,
it's a shooter. You're gonna get some kills. You're never gonna get shut out.
yeah. You hope.
I don't think I've ever been in any type of competitive shooter where I haven't at least gotten a kill.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just almost a statistical impossibility that you can't accidentally kill someone in most competitive first-person shooters, especially something like a Counter-Strike where you only really have to get a few hits in. Just like, oops, you accidentally snuck up on someone or spawned behind someone, and you get a kill.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess Counter-Strike Go, you don't really have spawn.
Yeah.
Like, you start out, and then you die, and then
that's
you have to wait till the next round, but
Yeah.
you're going to get the jump on somebody.
Yeah. I mean, I did really well, but it was on the console, and I took care of business.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome where, my entire team got killed, and then there was like 4 guys left on the other team, and I took out all 4 of them, and they were all in the same room,
Yeah.
spread out, and it was in a train yard, and I happened to kill all of them and disarm the bomb that they'd set with 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah.
While my entire team was spectating. And that was the first time I'd ever played Counter-Strike Go.
Mm-hmm. And the only reason I'm not playing it right now is because I don't own it, and I refuse. Steam sometimes drives me crazy with their games, because Counter-Strike Go goes on sale all the time, and it's like $5, but it's $15 right now. I'm not gonna pay $15 for a $5 game.
Yeah.
You've already set the price at $5.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay a dime over it. So once it goes back on sale, which it will, I'll pick it up and probably start playing that.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I play Blacklight Retribution. It's a really fun free-to-play shooter.
Yeah, I've got it on PS4. I just hadn't tried it yet.
And I'll be playing Quake Live. The only thing that sucks is when I played Quake Live before, all your stats reset like every 6 weeks or something, unless you subscribed, which means you paid money, which kind of sucks because it's kind of a weird thing to lock behind a paywall.
Yeah.
But that's about the only thing that's locked behind a paywall. I think all the game modes are available, and there's like a few maps that aren't, but because they're behind a paywall, not a lot of people play them, so who gives a shit?
Yeah. That's like some of the stuff in Killing Floor that the other guys were doing. I was afraid that it was going to be DLC stuff, and I don't have any of the DLC for that game.
Yeah, most of the DLC is like characters, though. I don't think there's any level DLC.
Well, they were playing levels with like objectives and stuff. I don't know if that was stuff that was just automatically
Probably
put
could just
in.
been in the. I mean, it has mod support, so they're probably just mods.
Possibly. But I don't know. I know they have objective things that you can put, because you can put it in standard mode, and then there's like an objective mode, and I think that's what they were playing in.
Oh, that's cool.
But
I like
it's more
the
than
standard
just
mode.
the waves. You actually have to like do things like collect certain items and stuff like that in between the waves, and
it's kind of neat.
Save people. They had one where they were saving a female scientist or something, and they were trying to get to her, so they had to do stuff to try to get to her. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've played Killing Floor quite a bit. I like it. It's a fun game. I've only played the normal wave after wave after wave of.
That's pretty much all I
mutant.
played. This was the first time I'd really seen anybody play anything but that. And
Killing Floor 2 looks crazy.
I still hadn't seen anything on it.
Yeah, it looks pretty insane. I think it's built on. It looks like it's still Unreal, so it might be the Unreal 3 engine. But it looks pretty crazy. The only thing that I'm worried about it is they've made the clots and stuff seem to move a whole lot faster.
Yeah.
So I think they may have sped up the enemy speed and stuff like that, which I don't know if I'm
down
for
with.
or against yet. I'll have to play the game to get a feel of it, because I kind of like the pace of Killing Floor. I think that was one of the strongest things about it, was the pace.
Yeah.
And I don't really want a Left 4 Dead type frantic zombie running at me.
Yeah, it didn't make it a Left 4 Dead clone.
Yeah,
which is really cool. It had its own thing.
Does Left 4 Dead have a clone though? Is there any game out there that does what Left 4 Dead does?
Probably not, because
I mean,
it would have been considered a Left 4 Dead clone.
Yeah, I can't think of one. I mean, I'm sure there is. I just
Not unless it's like a mod game that I can think of. Blacklight Retribution has a mode in it that's like Left 4 Dead, but it's...
I only play team objective, like the...
Well, their mode in that is way too crazy. Like,
Really?
enemies are way too fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you
See,
die so quickly.
That's what worries me about Killing Floor, is all the videos I've seen, everything's moving shit ton faster than they did in the first Killing Floor, and that worries me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want just like 1,000 fast enemies running at me where I'm having... Like, it's fine for Left 4 Dead, because that's what Left 4 Dead is. But Killing Floor isn't that, or it wasn't, and I hope it continues not to be.
Yeah. But, yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Don't know what they'll do with it as far as that. I really need to look up the footage for Killing Floor 2 and see what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks cool. Like, I don't think it's gonna revolutionize gaming, but I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna buy it probably day one if it's $19.
Yeah.
If they pull like a $50 bait and switch though, which I don't think Tripwire has ever released a $50 game, because I think even Red Orchestra 2 was like $40.
Yeah.
So
we'll just have to see. Because it'll depend on what they put in the game and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll buy it day one if it's 20. If it's over 20, it'll probably be when it's 20. Because I'm cheap. Sorry, devs.
It's understandable. Which, speaking of stuff coming out, I was watching some of the Tokyo Game Show stuff. And
cool. When was the Tokyo? Was it last week?
You know,
was it like this past week? Was the Tokyo Game Show?
It was this week.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's still going on or not.
Yeah.
Because like yesterday, I think was the last day I'd really like seen anything, and I don't really remember everything that was even shown then. But so I mean, I don't know. It was just tons of stuff this week. The things that I caught were the Final Fantasy 15 trailer, which looked really cool.
Is it like classic Final Fantasy style, where it's like turn-based, or
no? It looked more like action-y, like faster pace.
That's cool.
Because originally, 15 is supposed to be was the versus 13.
Yeah.
So that's what 15 is. Then they got another one that's Type 0 or Type O, and I think it's completely different. I haven't seen the trailer for it though.
Yeah,
but
well, don't they have a Vita game coming out?
Do they? I don't know.
Or I thought they had a game that was kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics. It might not even be done by SquareSoft.
Well, that might be the Type O thing.
So I have no idea.
I don't know. I haven't seen the trailer.
I like Final Fantasy Tactics, so I wouldn't mind another one in that series.
Well, and then they put out an amazing Bloodborne trailer. Well, I thought it was amazing anyway. And they also put out some stuff that I need to watch that I totally did not see until yesterday when I was browsing through. But they have like gameplay footage things where they're like 30 minutes long of them playing through Bloodborne. One of them they had at the very beginning of it, the guys were selecting hunters on a screen where it almost looked like they had a lobby. Like 4 different guys were on the...
So it is 4-player co-op.
It's possible. It may have been possible that they were on a screen where they were selecting a class of huntsman.
Oh, okay.
Or hunter, and I just didn't see it right. But, you know, the guys were talking, they had the selector thing, and where you could go across, and I was just like, I really hope that that's them picking, like, putting in a lobby of 4 hunters. Because that would be amazing. I mean, I know that you're supposed to be able to play with, like, up to 4 hunters at the same time or something.
Yeah.
But the most I've seen on anything I've watched is 2. So I'll have to read up on that more, and I'm all about watching more Bloodborne stuff. I actually put down for the pre-order of the collector's edition because it looks badass. It's $80 and it's like a steel book, has a book with it, and just looked really neat. And I was just like, I missed out on getting the first Dark Souls and the Demon Souls collector's editions. I just bought them almost day one. I bought Dark Souls day one, and Dark Souls 2 I got the Black Armor edition. Got it day one. But Demon Souls,
release that stuff for PC. like the armor editions.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
the
Because they have the special editions, but you don't get the reason you'd want to buy it.
Yeah.
Like, granted, there's no point of having a steel book and a digital thing. So I mean, my whole thing is, why even have the special edition?
Yeah.
For just don't have it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It makes no sense to me.
Well, I really wish I'd gotten the Demon Souls one.
Yeah.
Because it had an alternate cover. It had the Japanese cover.
Yeah.
And
where it had like the knight sitting down.
Yeah, the knight was dead.
Yeah.
He had the arrow sticking out of his shield and everything. That was the one that I wished I had gotten. What's sad is I know somebody that owns like 3 copies of the regular edition and owns the collector's edition. And I know for a fact they've never even played the games. They just owned them to collect them. And I mean, I'm cool with that, but at the same time, like, you know, somebody that's not even a fan of the game owning a copy of it just because it's worth something, it seems like it's worth less, in my opinion, to me. I mean, like, you know, it'd be worth more to somebody that gave a shit about it.
That's one thing I don't understand about, like, games. Like, people that collect them for money.
Yeah.
Like, for worth, because... I mean, I guess I don't really care about owning as much as I care about playing.
Yeah.
So, like, if I have an avenue to play a game that doesn't require me to own it, I'm fine with taking that.
Yeah.
Like, with, like, say, Super Nintendo emulators and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm perfectly fine with people. A lot of people have, like, oh, well, if you're playing on an emulator, you know, you're stealing the game. It's not like I can buy the cartridge, the SNES version, anywhere new where Nintendo is going to make money.
Yeah.
So I have it's abandonware in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm downloading, like, Wii U ROMs, yeah, okay, that's bullshit, because there's an outlet for me to buy that, but I want to just play the classic Super Nintendo cart.
Yeah, and there's a lot of those games. See, Super Nintendo games are going through the roof.
Yeah, it's crazy right now
in the market. Because I bought Demon's Crest for $29 4 years ago, complete in box.
Mm-hmm.
$29 on Amazon. Now, you can't buy a loose cart of that game for less than like $120.
Yeah, see, that's crazy.
It's ridiculous. Like, it's surprising to me how many games that I own that have skyrocketed in price as far as Super Nintendo games. Nintendo games are kind of dropping down to where they're more affordable, and the Super Nintendo and N64 games, those are going through the roof.
Well, it's because the generation that is old enough to, like, have jobs and disposable income grew up with Super Nintendo and 64.
And they're going and buying all those games.
And they're going and buying all those games.
So the demand for them is getting higher, and it's raising the prices. But what sucks is some of those games for Nintendo that I've been trying to get, just because of the names of them. It's not because they're rare or anything. People are just price gouging the shit out of it. Like Gargoyle's Quest, which is another one, you know, this is part of the Demon's Crest thing. Gargoyle's Quest 2, I bought the first one for $12 on Game Boy. It wasn't really a great decision, just because the game, it's one of those earlier Game Boy games, and it's kind of rough. Like, it's not really as fun. But Gargoyle's Quest is for the Nintendo, and it's pretty damn good. And you can't get it for less than like $50. And most people are price gouging that a bit more anyway.
I'll download it for free.
But it really sucks though, because, you know, there's a lot of those games that I search for, and there's a lot of times where I run across people that are buying the games, and it's frustrating because I know that they're not buying it to play it, and I'm buying it to play it.
Well, see, the way I see it is you would buy it to collect it, because there's outlets for you to play it without paying anything.
Yeah.
So I don't really mind the person buying it just to collect.
But I do, because I play them on, you know, like, that's the reason I bought a Retron. Like, I've got all the old systems, but I bought a Retron so I could play them in high definition. Like, specifically, I wanted to be able to play the cards. And it works as an emulator. It dumps the ROM onto the system memory, but still, I want to own the cards if I can, if they're games that I really wanted and I can afford them. But some of these games, like, you know, Sky Blazer and stuff like that, where there's somebody that's just like, oh, I read that in a book. Like I read about that in a book once, and I really want that game, but they're not gonna play it.
Yeah.
Like that just kind of irks me because I'm just like, well, I would. I
Mm-hmm.
know what it is. I didn't get to play it as a kid, but I always wanted it as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and I would play it. Now, if the person's buying it and they're legitimately going to play it,
Well, I
I'm
mean,
cool with
most
that.
people that buy inbox shrink wrapped aren't gonna
Well,
play
no,
it.
no, not like inbox shrink wrap.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about loose carts.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, I
see,
mean,
I
think
don't
about it
even
like this.
buy like the boxed ones that are
But think about this
shrink
though.
wrapped
Like,
and stuff.
say
Those are
you like
hundreds.
are like a real gamer and you play like a lot of games, and then you just decide, hey, I want to own every Super Nintendo game ever, just because that's a goal you have. Well, you're gonna know what games are worth the most.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get them at a good price, you're gonna snatch them up.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It just, I don't know, like it just kind of sucks because it feels like with some of those rare games, like it puts you at a disadvantage
mm-hmm.
because you're not like rolling in enough money to own every Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Because I had a friend of mine ask me because I was buying a lot of Nintendo games. Well, what I was doing is I was going through and buying games that
You wanted.
that I wanted
Yeah.
all this time and that are really obscure,
And you wanted to play them.
but I wanted to play them.
Yeah.
Like I went and bought, I bought Scat, that
mm-hmm.
police, like it's like a police side-scrolling shooter game.
Yeah.
I bought it. It was like a $50 cart.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of regretted the purchase because it wasn't my bag.
Yeah.
And then I bought Frankenstein, The Monster Returns. First time I'd ever seen that cart in person. And it was only like a $20 cart, but there was like 3 of them available online.
Yeah.
And so I bought that, and it's really kind of a broken game because the enemies disappear while they're like running at you and stuff. And I don't know, it seems all right, but it'd be one of those games that take a lot of getting used to. And I bought a lot of other like some shmup games. I bought Bomberman. I bought like a lot of stuff like that. Even Dig Dug 2, which is terrible.
I played Dig Dug on the Atari.
Well, Dig Dug is amazing, but
Was that an Atari game?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I played it all the time on the Atari.
Well, yeah, because it was an arcade game originally, and
Yeah.
then they came out with it. I'm pretty sure it came out on Atari, and then they had it. They had it on Nintendo too, but the second Dig Dug game is horrible. Like,
there's a game out right now that I think is like Dig Dug. It's getting a whole lot of press. It's an indie game. I think I own it. I don't know how I own it, but I think I fucking own the game.
probably a Humble Bundle.
Yeah, but it's like the name at least sounds Dig Dug-ish.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like there's a lot of that stuff though, and I know it kind of irked me because I was going and buying a lot of these games, and there were people that I knew for a fact weren't buying them to play them.
Yeah.
And that just kind of bothered me. And then, I've got another friend that, he's been going and buying, he's been actually buying games that he wants to play.
Uh-huh.
And he's been finding some really good deals, he's been finding a lot of boxed games. Like he found some like Shinobi titles and stuff that he wanted since he was a kid. Perfect in box, and they were cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's been pretty awesome that he's been finding those. And that's, like I said, that's different.
Yeah.
That's somebody who wants the game. Like I went and bought Contra Hardcore, Castlevania Bloodlines. Those are games that I remember. You remember going with me so many times. We went to a flea market.
Yeah.
Looking for those.
Yeah,
games.
Bloodlines was he had that one for a while, but it was like ridiculously
He
expensive.
had Hardcore as well, and
Yeah.
they were like $40 loose carts a piece.
Yeah.
And I looked them up, and that's kind of still the price.
Mm-hmm.
But they were in shit condition, and
Yeah.
I ended up finding them online. I ended up getting Hardcore for about $60 complete in box. But then I got the deal of a lifetime when I stumbled across somebody that had Castlevania Bloodlines complete in box for like $30.
Yeah.
And you couldn't find it. You still can't find
Bloodlines is that
the Genesis one.
is that Rondo though? Like
No,
version
no,
of
no, no.
Rondo?
No,
Or is
that's
Bloodlines like a completely separate game.
It's completely separate.
Dracula X is Rondo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Dracula XX is the one that came out for Super Nintendo. But the Rondo one, that was the PC engine.
Yeah.
That's like the TurboGrafx 16's like add-on in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what that came out on. But And they had a lot of cool systems that we never got.
Did we get the TurboGrafx over here?
Yeah.
Because I don't know anyone that owned it.
But it's amazing. There's
But,
so
I mean,
many good games on
Don't know anyone who
16.
had one.
I didn't either.
Like,
and,
I don't know.
and that's another thing. TurboGrafx 16 is another one that the shit's going through the roof.
I don't know anyone that's owned an actual Sega Master System.
You
I know people that owned a Genesis, of course,
Yeah.
that would play Master System
Well,
games.
see, when I was a kid, I didn't know that a Master System was a different system than a Genesis. I thought that it was just like the first version of the Genesis or something.
Yeah.
And that the Genesis was the second Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't true. There were 3 Genesis
Yeah.
systems, but they were all just a Genesis.
But I mean, the Genesis would play Master System games.
If you got a power base converter.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. Which you can still get those, and you can use them on the Retron, and you have to put them in the Genesis slot, and that's how you can play Sega Master System games.
Oh, okay.
Which there was a Ninja Gaiden game on the Sega Master System that I had beaten on the Dreamcast. Because I had an emulator disc of Genesis games on the Dreamcast. And I played a Ninja Gaiden that was, Ninja Gaiden SMS, which is the Sega Master System.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was a hacked ROM. Like,
was it like just the same game for Nintendo?
no, it was a completely different game.
Because the Master System was a more powerful system than the Nintendo.
Yeah. But I played through the entire game, got through it in probably about 3 hours, which I'd never done with a Ninja Gaiden game. Usually they're just balls difficult. This one was difficult, but it wasn't like ridiculously so. And I just found out the other day that is a real Sega Master System game. It was only released in Brazil and Europe.
What a weird...
Yeah, it's
not even in Japan?
No. And it's super expensive.
Really?
Yes. Like,
fuck that.
But it's not even, it's one of those things where I've seen most carts available on Amazon and eBay and stuff. Nope, it's not even available.
Really?
Yeah, and it's worth a lot. But I mean, I just looked into it because I was just like, well, that's neat. I wonder if you can even find the cart. No.
Yeah.
But I and my friend was telling me about it, and he was just like, yeah, the reviewer guy for it said it was really difficult and everything. I'm like, well, I beat it in like 3 hours, and that was in 2003, maybe. So, yeah, I was like, I sat down. I thought it was a fake Ninja Gaiden game because it was just different.
Yeah, it's kind of was it a different, I mean, it was probably the same publisher, of course, but
it reminds me of how 3 is with like when they Natsume developed it.
Yeah.
Where it has like the shadow of the ninja type thing where you can like jump up and grab like tile things above you and like pull yourself up on them, like you can flip up on them. It reminds me of that because you can do that. You had to do that through the trees and stuff, and there's bombs and some of the
Strider
trees.
a Sega Master System game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strider was one of those arcade games that came out for just about everything.
Oh, was that on Nintendo too?
Yeah.
See, I thought Nintendo just got like the sequel, Strider 2.
No, they got Strider 1. Strider 2 came out on the PlayStation 1, actually.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was really awesome because it brought the Strider sprite that everybody knows from like, Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff like that. That's the type of sprite that they used. But Strider 2, the only problem with it is it was too easy. And I still had fun with it. But the game is just, it forgives you for sucking at it. I mean, the game's still difficult, but you have like unlimited continues and lives.
Yeah.
So you just run through the game just destroying everything and not giving a shit.
You can win the war of attrition.
Yeah.
Just by keep running yourself into the wall.
Now, the new Double Helix Strider, if you bought a disc copy of that from Japan, you actually got Strider 1 and 2 like vouchers to download them in the box.
Okay.
So you could download, Strider 2 for their PSN and then like Strider 1 from their like, I guess like maybe the arcade version or something. And I thought that was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because the Double Helix Strider is actually a lot of fun. I still need to beat that, by the way. But it was so good, I actually bought it on PS3 and PS4. But
Double Helix, what else have they done?
They did Soldier of Fortune 2.
Oh, yeah.
And I was trying to remember. They've done a good amount of games.
I've heard the name.
Yeah.
And I knew because Soldier of Fortune 2, it's kind of weird to have the title of your game to also be the title of the dev that made it.
Yeah.
Because it was Soldier of Fortune 2 Double Helix.
Yeah.
It's kind of narcissistic.
Well, I'm pretty sure Double Helix Games did it.
No, they did.
Okay.
I'm 100% sure.
Okay. Because that made me second guess. I was just like, did I just imagine that it was
The name?
The
No,
name was
that's what I thought. But then if you go, it's Double Helix developed that. It's just
called Double Helix. I guess maybe they were just trying to say like this is our version of the game. Soldier of
and
Fortune.
I thought what they did to Soldier of Fortune 2 was cool as far as like the engine, but it was a shittier game.
Well, it's shittier because they added stealth missions.
Yeah.
Which never should have been in a Soldier of Fortune game.
The stealth of Soldier of Fortune is don't use a rocket launcher, use a machine gun. Yeah. That's stealth.
But as far as the game like blowing shit up and like shooting people, it felt way like more realistic.
There was 16 breakpoints.
Yeah.
You could blow a face off 4 different ways.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember at the beginning of the game, the first time that Tyler and I played it, we, at the beginning of the game, you get like a low caliber, like silenced machine gun. Well, first you have a pistol that's silenced. And you're shooting people with the pistol, and it's just leaving holes in them, like little holes. And I know that this sounds really bad because they're just... It sounds like we're sticklers for violence. We weren't. We were just, it's a Soldier of Fortune game.
We played Soldier of Fortune. We expected faces and intestines.
So we're playing through and we're shooting people and we're just like, man, it's raining outside. Everything looks really good. But they're wearing like raincoats and stuff. And the raincoats are all bloody, but they're just, from little bullet holes. And, you shoot them in the head, it just leaves a little mark. We're just like, man, what the hell did they do to this game? They butchered it. And then we got the machine gun. And we're like, oh, man, we're going to rip people to shreds. And it's just leaving
more
dozens
holes.
Of those little holes. And so we're just like, man, shit, this is just bad. And we even had the graphics, like you could put the gore up to like gratuitous.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, it even gave a warning. When you go up to gratuitous, it's like, warning, this is like super explicit. It's going to make you sick. And we're like, whatever.
Yeah.
And so then we get a shotgun for the first time. And we're talking about how non-violent the game seems to be. And then we're standing over a staircase, and a guy comes up the stairs, and he gets to the top of the stairs, and I shoot him, and he splits in half, and half of his body slides down the stairs, and the other half slides down a completely different way, and his like intestines are falling out. And I'm just like, holy shit, this is even gorier than the first game.
See, the first game, you start out with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Which is how you need to be introduced to that game, because...
It's like, this is what you're going to see.
You're going to be blowing people the fuck up.
Yeah. And this one, it took a little bit longer. But...
Did you know, because you played that game, has no correlation if you're going to be a violent person or not?
Yeah.
Proven yet again by another study that will not be named because I was too lazy to look it up.
Yeah, we did watch some research stuff that somebody had done where they were talking about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did find that people that play games are more aggressive, but that was not due to the content of the game. It was due to, like, the difficulty.
No.
So if you were getting frustrated because you kept dying and dying and dying, that made you more aggressive.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about the content of the game.
Yeah.
That's what cracked me up. Like, so Mario, like, the first Mario could be more violent-inducing than, like, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Because, goddamn, some of those levels.
Yeah, the last world of Mario is just
ridiculous,
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Which
it's doable. Yeah, I beat the game multiple times.
We talked about even yesterday. We were talking about Super Mario World was definitely probably my favorite.
Star Road.
With just that entire game. I remember, Tyler and I did a printout where we learned all the different things where we wanted to complete the entire game.
100% it.
But the thing is, the game gives you points. Like, on, you don't have that number at your file.
Yeah.
Well, as you're going up in your file, every level you beat, it gives you a number. You can only get to 96. 96 is the max. It's not like Donkey Kong Country, where it was a percentage.
Yeah. Which
even there, I'm trying to remember if you could get 100%.
I think the highest percentage I ever got in Donkey Kong Country was like 68%.
We got, my brother and I, on the second one, we at least got 96 or 98. We almost had that thing 100%ed. But because you get a different ending in Donkey Kong Country 2 if you beat it 100%. We never got to see that ending. So, probably have to YouTube that one.
Yeah.
But, that's a very difficult game to get 100% in. That's a pretty hard game just to beat. But I was watching the other day, and
well, 2 was a whole lot easier than the first.
Was it? Because 2
or
was...
3 was a
I
whole
think
lot
3 was a whole lot
One
easier.
of them was balls easy. I can't really remember.
It was probably 3 then, because 1 was hard and 2 was super fucking hard, especially near the end. Like when you get into the levels where it's just the beehive thing. Oh fuck! Like it's ridiculous.
No.
And then you get into all the bramble blasts.
So that game probably caused some school shootings.
Probably.
We can only speculate that
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country is responsible for the majority of infant deaths in this nation.
Well, I'm sure that, when people were blaming Doom, they should have been blaming Donkey Kong Country 2 or something.
Yeah.
Because
Let's see, what year? See, Doom came out in what, 91?
5.
The first Doom? Yeah, I guess it did. 95.
Yeah.
What games were out then? That was...
The Donkey Kong Country.
Was it Donkey Kong Country 2005?
Donkey Kong Country
95?
was 90... The first one was probably like 94, 95.
Really?
And then, and then the second one was probably like 95, 96.
So yeah, probably that's the reason it happened.
Yeah, Columbine was...
Well, that was 99.
Was it 99?
Yeah, Columbine was like 99.
Yeah, it was. Well, shit. Well, I know there were some other shootings that happened. We just probably didn't hear about them as much.
And there were so many school shootings. Like, people people in the media make it seem like school shootings are new. Man, there were so many when I was growing up. I remember the Arkansas school shooting.
Yeah.
It's just, Columbine was the one that I think shocked people the most, strictly because of how methodical they were.
Yeah.
Like, most school shootings up to that point was more, hey, I'm going to bring a gun and I'm going to try to shoot as many people as possible, where they had planned shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like they block off exits.
Yeah.
They, have everything to where they're strapped.
Yeah.
And, and their parents, it's sad that their parents weren't around enough to even know what was going down. And these guys, like, the kids have time to go and practice shooting trees.
Yeah.
With weapons. And I'm like, where the hell did they get all this shit?
To be honest, I could have gotten away with the same thing.
Well, it's not that it's the parents' fault per se. If, like, a lot of parents have where, both the parents are working.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them, you don't get to choose your hours. A lot of them have to work hard hours. And they're usually working during the afternoons and stuff. So the kids kind of have to just take care of themselves. And these kids just were fucked up and decided that they hated most of the people in their school and they wanted to methodically take them out. And it's really fucking crazy. I don't see, as a gamer that's played just hundreds and hundreds of violent video games.
Yeah, and enjoyed them
very much. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
But as far as like that's as far as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot even in my head understand why you would do that. I watched somebody released a thing, an ISIS video where ISIS, members are shooting random people in the streets and on on the roads of Iraq, and it's just one of the most disgusting things you could watch.
Yep.
Because innocent people are just getting gunned down or shot while they're driving and stuff. I mean, how unsuspecting is that? That you're just minding your own business, driving. You're worried about wrecking.
Mm-hmm.
You're not worried about some asshole pulling up beside you with an AK-47 taking you out. That stuff just doesn't compute with me. I don't understand why anybody would kill another person.
It's over there in the sense it's just desperation.
Yeah.
They don't. There's.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
education
on a
thing.
level of like a mental level of
I don't
where,
see how anyone in this country could want to do that. That's what gets, unless you're just, crazy, because no sane person is going to make that decision.
No, and that just makes me wonder, like, what kind of gene pool is working over there with like the sociopathic behavior? Because
over there, like I said, it's lack of education, it's desperation. Look at our prison system. Like, look about people when they go to prison. Like, you take a normal human being, sane, and you put him in a prison, and that's like super harsh, violent realities.
It's gonna change them.
It's gonna change them to where they take more extreme views and something that something they probably would have never done on the outside before they went to prison.
Yeah.
Is probably a Tuesday for them now.
Yeah.
You put normal, sane people in extreme situations, and the crazy spawns.
Yeah.
So I mean, until you stabilize their conditions over there, that you're just gonna spawn more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's this is the CNN podcast of world fixing and shit. So,
but anyway,
put that fucking feather in your cap.
we
got the fucking red Obama phone. We call him every day. Say, hey, motherfucker, build some schools. Quit bombing.
Yeah.
You'll fix it faster.
Well, the
You little hippie douche.
Another thing, Silent Hills. Silent Hills had another trailer at the Tokyo Game Show, and it was very entertaining.
I've never beat a Silent Hill game.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to fix that at some point.
Yeah, like I played Silent Hill 3 probably the most because it was kind of more action based than the other ones.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 4, I watched people play, and that looked horrible.
I didn't really get into 4 at all.
4 is
that's
all I know is.
Lost me on
aren't
that.
you kind of just in your apartment?
Yeah. You're going into different worlds through like the portal in your apartment or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a neat. The one thing I have to give Silent Hill some credit for is they try new shit.
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil, they like do the same shit, and then they might try one thing, and then they try to just copy that one thing over and over and over again.
Well, that's like okay. Just speaking of like when they did the PT thing.
Yeah.
There's a guy that our friend Steven posted a link, and I watched both of the videos, and they were PT analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy like only had like, I don't know, maybe like 200-300 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Had a really extremely well made video breaking down analysis of like per every loop and everything. He even had a thing where like I did not even know that if you walked in the bathroom at a certain point you could talk to the fetus.
Oh really?
Yeah, the fetus that's in the sink.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk to him. He'll tell you like all sorts of shit. I mean,
I've never seen anyone talk to him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's him talking per se,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean the fetus's mouth kind of moves anyway, like
Mm-hmm.
all the time. So it might not be that the fetus is talking, but somebody's talking to you,
Mm-hmm.
and they're telling you a lot of shit about the story. And it's just right after you. I mean, the reason we think it's the fetus talking is because right after the loop happens, you go into the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when it starts. And that's like the only time you go in the bathroom and anybody talks. So we figure it's the fetus is talking to you. But anyway, this guy goes through. He's wanting to do it as a 3-part. He's done 2 parts so far, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
He just broke down everything like to where like he put full like a full translation to what's being said on the radio in Swedish.
Oh, really?
Which, and that was kind of cool because, PewDiePie had gone through and he told some of it. And
oh, yeah, I watched his playthrough of PT. I watched everybody's playthrough of that. I watched yours. I watched Boogie2988, who, by the way, if you wanted to see a quick one, his is the quickest. It's like 11 minutes because he gets his neck snapped by the bitch, and he was just like, I'm done. Fuck it. So his is 11 minutes, but I watched Poods, I watched yours, I watched, I think Angry Joe had one.
He did.
And I watched his, I watched IGN's, I watched because it was different every time. That was one of those things that I just didn't get tired of watching because every time I saw something new, and I never saw a fucking fetus talk, so now I gotta watch this douchebag.
Yeah. Which, like I said, he does more than just play through it. He shows you loop by loop exactly like things that I didn't notice. Like one of the things where there's a part where the door won't open at the beginning.
Yeah.
And what it is when you walk back through, the picture of the girl on the wall had been knocked off, and you have to touch it with your feet for it to open that door again. That's why you have to go all the way back through that one hallway back up to the main door. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just you had to walk to the main door and then come back and the door would be open.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually you step on that woman's photograph.
Does it make a noise when you step on it? Does it make
I didn't notice.
Like you broke that shit?
But I never played the game with headphones. A lot of people said playing it with headphones was way creepier than, because shit's all around you. But one of the loops you actually play as the chick, the ghost. Because, I noticed, when you get possessed by her, you're only wearing one shoe.
Yeah.
That's why there's a click, like a heel tapping
Mhm.
against the floor. In one of the loops, the one where you gouge the eye out in the paint in the picture,
Mhm.
you're actually playing as her because it's got the extra breathing and the heel toe thing where
Really?
yeah, I didn't notice
I
it.
didn't catch it.
And then
Now I gotta watch it again.
which he noticed he's the only person besides me that noticed
Chick.
that I had seen in the playthroughs
Yeah.
that noticed that when the crash happens, you look up at the balcony and you can see her staring
Man,
down
she
at
is
you.
a creepy looking fuck up there
Yeah,
too.
she is.
I mean, I've already probably convinced myself I'm not gonna play it because I don't think I can play it. Like I think I can play Evil Within because you got guns. You're blowing shit the fuck up. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, I just shot your fucking face off here. Here's a match, bitch. Double down on that sweet sack. But that game looks legitimately scary.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can handle it. I think I could handle Silent Hill 2, which a lot of people say that's like the scariest one. But so far, I've played a little bit of it, and it's not too bad yet.
It's creepy, but mainly because Pyramid Head and the mannequins and stuff like that. Like, I think the shadows are what sells that game.
Really?
The shadow effects are the shit because that's what in 2 and 3, like 2 primarily was the one that shadows really just fucked with me
Mm-hmm.
because that game did cool stuff with shadows that no other game I'd ever seen had done. And there were some parts of the game where I had my flashlight off walking through that claustrophobic apartment and your radio thing's going off. You know that there's an enemy near you and you can see it like walking very fucked up down the hallway and you just don't want to touch it.
Uh-huh.
And you're trying to get through it and it's tense, man. I mean, it was a very intense game.
I mean, I'm bitch playing through. I'm playing it on easy for the action and normal for the puzzles.
Yeah.
Which is weird because you think I would flip that because I suck at puzzles, but I'm normally pretty decent at action. But
it's just they don't really give you a lot of ammo and the melee weapons are not great because it's a Silent Hill game.
Mm-hmm.
Not until Homecoming did they really make it to where you could kind of hold your own with melee weapons.
Homecoming wasn't that great, but
that was
fun.
the Double Helix game.
Homecoming.
They fucking did Homecoming.
Fuck Double Helix.
Homecoming,
I didn't think it was that bad. I played it on PSP and didn't mind it.
Homecoming, I really didn't think it was that bad. It was different. I probably wouldn't have called it like a Silent Hill game.
Mm-hmm.
If I think it's like that Final Fantasy 13. Like, if you just called it a different name, people might have enjoyed it more.
Well,
because Homecoming really wasn't like a shitty game.
I guess I gotta take that back then. I have beat Homecoming because when I was in Ohio for a month, I had a PSP, and that was one of the 2 games I had.
Now, did they have Homecoming for PSP? I remember they had Origins.
Then I'm thinking of Origins.
Yeah.
I have never played Homecoming, so I can't tell you if it's shitty or not. Origins was not great, but it was fun to play when you didn't have anything else to do.
Okay, because I didn't ever play Origins. Origins came out on the PSP and the PS2, I believe.
Okay.
Now, Homecoming came out on PS3.
So what is Homecoming?
Homecoming is the one before the Shitstorm one, which was called like...
I remember the Wii had one, which was
that's
just a
Shattered
remake
Memories.
of
Shattered
the first
Memories.
one.
The PS3 had 2 of them. Because they had Homecoming, which is the one that was about like the soldier that was coming home.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Like I said, Double Helix made that one. I didn't think it was really horrible. People panned the shit out of it because it was a Silent Hill game. Your character controlled a lot better because like he was a soldier, so he was a hell of a lot better with shooting and with like meleeing people. I thought it was all right. It was pretty good. It was the best American Silent Hill that got made. The other Silent Hill, Downpour, or as I called it, Shitstorm, because it was fucking horrible. Downpour was one of the worst pieces of shit. Like, that's a game that, like, as soon as it came out, I watched a video on it, saw that the frame rate was like 10, and that the game was just horrible. The best thing to do to watch that is watch 2 best friends play it. They played through the entire game, and it was the funniest fucking thing. 'Cause all they did was rip on that game so hard.
Yeah.
But they played through the whole thing. They just hated every minute of it. And they saved me some money.
Like, that's something that, like, just... I don't even really consider... I guess I have to consider myself a YouTuber since I do put games that I play up on YouTube.
Yeah.
But that's something that I could never do. I could never play through an entire game that I hated.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of it.
And they, they've done it a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good for views. I mean,
yeah.
It's entertaining to me.
Yeah.
I love watching someone play a shitty game.
Yeah.
That just won't be me.
Yeah. I can't really do that right now because
now I could play a game that is considered shitty, but it has some value. Like I'm trying to give an example, like Bionic Commando.
Yeah.
People say that game's shit, and yeah, the story's shit. There's this stupid mechanic where if you go up in an area they didn't expect you to get to, you just die from radiation immediately.
Yeah.
Which is fucking retarded.
Yeah.
But the game is fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun fucking game.
Which speedrunners are just now like, they're playing the shit out of that game.
My biggest complaint about it was the fact that you would lose all your, like, because there'd be these, like, mini missions that you'd have to do, like, kill 3 people with a shotgun.
Yeah, I hated that.
If you didn't get to a checkpoint, like, if you did it and then didn't get to a checkpoint, you lost the data that you had done it.
Yeah,
so you had to do it again.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
And sometimes you'd get through, like, 3 or 4 challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd wipe out 3 or 4 challenges, you get those unlocked and do them. You get trophies for them and everything, and then you die, and it just resets all of it.
And then what sucks if you're a trophy guy is you have to do it again even though you have the trophy because you won't unlock the next section of missions that gives you more trophies.
Yeah, because it has like a tier system of challenges.
Yep.
And so there'll be tiers of different things. Like if you did the death from above attack, there'd be one where it's like death from above 3 people, and then like 5 people, and then, shit like that. And so if you don't have the 3 unlocked, you can't do the 5.
Mm-hmm.
And which some of that shit was stupid.
Yeah.
Because you know that you did some of those challenges.
And you couldn't like load back checkpoints or anything like that.
No. If you got past one, you're fucked.
You're done. Yeah.
Like if you missed a collectible in the game,
you're done.
You're fucked.
Yep.
Like if you were trying to do an all collectible run, I got like 78% of the trophies in that game.
I got like 60-something%.
And that was
I liked the game. That game got panned too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean
I bought it for $10 and it had only been out like a month.
To be honest, the 2 Bionic Commando games that Grin put out, the Rearmed and the Bionic Commando 2009, those are the best Grin games that were made.
Yeah.
The other games that they made, Wanted
was shitty.
Terminator Salvation was a humongous pile of
Oh my gosh,
shit.
they made that?
Yes.
Terminator Salvation was worse than the movie.
Yeah, it was fucking...
Because the movie was horrible.
Shitty. I almost beat the game on hard. I changed the difficulty during one part where the fucking AI for my characters that were with me was annoying the shit out of me. And I was like, none of my friends, I'm not going to subject them to this. Like, Eric's the only one that told me that if we bought copies of Terminator Salvation, he would go through it so we both have a platinum and we could laugh about it. But the game, I got to the 4th mission, you meet the first Terminator. You have to shoot the Terminators in the back, or you have to hit them with pipe bombs. I had 3 pipe bombs, and even behind cover, the fucking Terminator was lacing me up.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that the Terminator would be super badass.
The problem is, there's 2 of my fucking teammates behind him
that won't shoot
him. They're just standing there going, hit him with the pipe bomb. I'm like, you guys can shoot him in the back and he will die.
Yeah.
Because he has like a core that you can hit in the back. You fucking retard.
Yeah, it's right. I am aggroing the shit out of him. Please shoot him in the back.
Yeah, but no.
Can you control your teammates at all?
No, they just that's a shitty game mechanic, and it took me forever. And then when I put it on normal, it was just as hard as hard. So I really just got past it. I
mean, I played the game, but I played the game co-op with somebody on the 360, and I can't remember who. I didn't own it. It's just that we played.
Yeah, you can't even jump in that game. You just run.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you
can't in hard reset either, and that game's the shit.
Yeah, but this one you want to be able to jump.
Yeah.
Because some of the enemies can dash at you really fast, and you can't get away from them.
I'm having this is completely off topic. Of course, TGS, I think, is the topic we're on right now.
Yeah, we just kind of flowed.
But I'm having a issue of, have you ever been playing a game and you know it's a linear story path, but you just want to somehow magically put your fucking brain in the game and take control and just go down a different course of action.
Well,
what's a game that you've been
we
playing?
We totally went through that with the Prince of Persia thing.
Yes.
Because the Prince of Persia remake, spoilers.
It sucks.
Yeah, you don't even want to play it, but the ending
is so
shitty,
fucking worthless.
And like, what happens is, okay, I'm gonna summarize it for you. You got a princess who is with you the entire game, keeps you from getting killed all the time, and there's an evil that's underground and is like locked up. Yep. And there's no way this fucker can get out.
At all.
Unless these people get to this shit and open it up and let him out. The princess, her whole goal is to kill herself, not, commit like seppuku or anything.
Yeah.
She's just
she's
sacrificing herself to keep the evil from coming out.
Yep.
Okay.
It's her only goal in life.
The only thing
she has come to terms with
for.
her mortality, and she wants to do this.
Yeah, to save humanity. Well, cue in our dumb fuck protagonist, and
that you control.
And she dies, and you don't have a choice in the matter on doing this.
Yeah, you have to do it.
You have to do this, and it's so stupid. The whole time we're just yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
Because we were pissed. We're like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But he picks the girl up, and he's carrying her all the way back. The credits are rolling. You're carrying her, and you're controlling this.
Yep.
Where you're carrying her back to a tree that will bring her back to life.
Yep.
You know what he's going to do.
Yep.
And you know he is a fucking moron.
You pretty much make a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
And undo everything she just sacrificed for.
Yeah. And
so
fuck the world
stupid.
over.
Yeah.
Because as soon as she wakes up, the first thing she says is, "Oh my God, no, what have you done?"
Yeah.
And then the fucking thing comes out of the ground, like fucking takes over the sky, and then the game ends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. That is the worst fucking ending.
Yeah.
And
it was so stupid.
Yeah. I didn't even want to, I didn't even want you to finish.
Yeah, I didn't. If trophies didn't exist, I probably wouldn't have.
But
Even though I think you got the last trophy before that, but
yeah, but it's still
it was so fucking annoying.
It was so annoying.
And they made DLC for it, but that game was so
supposed to fix that.
But that game was so shitty, it wasn't worth revisiting. Yeah. That was such a bad game. If you ever played the original Prince of Persia is that's Apple II.
Apple II and Nintendo and all those.
I mean, if you played the Sands of Time,
which you can get an HD remake of the Prince of Persia. Not just the 3, but the Apple II one.
Oh yeah,
it's on the PS3. That Ubisoft did that one. I don't know how good it is, but anyway, the trilogy.
Sands of Time was really good.
Warrior Within the other was really fucking good.
I thought all of them were paled in comparison to Sands of Time.
Especially
the Kings one. What was it, like the two Kings or Butt King?
Something about the
I don't
Butt King. It was something about the thrones or something.
Yeah, something maybe the thrones, 2 thrones. It was something. It wasn't good.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't. Nothing's bad compared to the reboot pile of shit.
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
Now they did another
jizzed
one.
In my mouth.
The Forgotten Sands.
Forgotten Sands.
Which it's okay.
Recently?
Yeah.
Is this new?
It came out when the movie came out.
Oh, was it a movie tie-in?
It's actually not. It's pretty much a continuation of the 2 Thrones.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it good? Did you like it?
It was alright. I mean, I didn't beat it, but I got it for like $2 on a sale at PS3. And
I'm currently experiencing quite the conundrum. Like, if you watch my Onimusha videos, you'll realize that I'm not following the story at all. But since I'm a narcissist, I watch my own videos, and I realize what the story actually is because I'm paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Because when I'm playing and talking, I don't give a fuck about what's going on the screen. But I'm at a point where I really don't give a fuck about Yuki. Yuki is the chick she's your classic damsel in distress. She got kidnapped. There's this dude that wants to fucking kill her and drink blood from her skull.
Yeah.
That's legit, because when he does that, his pact with the Dark King is come to fruition and everyone in the world dies and he's the shit.
Yeah.
I don't want him to do that, because then, my area would be fucked up. But there's this demon in the game. It's like the first demon you meet. He looks like a xenomorph, and he's like doing all these experiments. And when you first meet him, he's creepy as fuck and kind of funny, like Crypt Keeper type funny, because like his jaw kind of just moves straight up and down, and he's like, it's kind of a funny dude.
He's kind of like a Skeletor voice.
Skeletor voice, exactly. And he was creepy and weird, and I was looking forward to killing him, as I do in all games. Like, anytime I meet a character, I'm like, I hope I get to kill you someday. But I start going through the game and start reading his books, because he, like, writes down these books, and he keeps talking about the animals, which the animals is our race of people.
Yeah.
And he is such an interesting dude that I just want to, like, I agree. I want to be on your team, bro. I'm in 100%. I'm down with I'm picking up what you were laying down. Fuck Yuki. Me and you, we'll go kill Nobunaga together, and we'll just like bro fist to the extreme.
I do think that Samanosuke would disagree with.
Yeah, Samanosuke. God damn it! One thing, Samanosuke tells this fucking speech that's completely irrelevant to what's going on. I don't like Samanosuke, but I like the game.
Yeah.
The game's fun. It's a Capcom game, so story. Has there been any Capcom game that's had a good story?
Yeah, I mean Okami had a really good story.
I forget that's Capcom.
Yeah.
Did they publish it or did they develop it?
They published it. Clover actually developed it.
Okay.
The people that made like God
Well, what's a
Hand
game
and
they
Beautiful Joe
made that has a good story?
Well, see, that's kind of a hard one because they.
I mean, you can
they
like
just
Resident
have
Evil all day long, but Resident
they-
Evil's story was
But
trash.
they have so many teams that it's still listed as just Capcom,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still like different teams
Well, I
because
mean-
you got Shinji Mikami, Inafune, you got all these different
Yeah.
people that were working within it, creating different
Games,
projects.
but I
and
mean,
games.
did any of those have a good story?
Mega Man's story wasn't bad. to
Well,
be
I mean,
honest.
it was. What was it?
Which one, like X or?
Oh,
Because X was pretty in depth, like the
Really?
Maverick Hunters and everything. Yeah, like it had a lot to it. Now some of it was silly, but I mean it was.
Because I mean, we were talking about a while back about stories just in general and how kind of forgetful they are.
Well, like Devil May Cry had
Forgettable?
Yeah, but I'm a guy. Like I'm not really good with remembering a lot of the stories in games. Like I'll watch other people's like walkthroughs and stuff, and I feel like a dumbass piece of shit because I played a game like 100 times and I remember the story, and like they're going through like rattling off everything that happens. But see, my friend Eric, he he can sit down and tell you, recite everything that happened in Kingdom Hearts, like 1 and 2, like from beginning to end. And I mean, this is like an hour or 2 hour conversation.
I can do that right now.
No,
Yeah.
like
You're a dude, you're on a beach. Your mom yells at you, maybe. I think the mom's in it. Maybe not. I don't know, but you're on a beach. I remember that. Chick, dude, Key, fucking Hercules, Final Fantasy characters, Goofy, Mickey. I think Donald was there.
he was.
The end. There's the game. Spoilers. I should have said spoilers.
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean, and some of them don't have good stories. Like God Hand has a horrible story, but it's hilarious. It's
Well, see,
just,
I think I remember the horrible stories more though because I'm into them more.
I just remember the guys or the girls and the characters and stuff. I mean, that are just fucked up and weird. Like God Hand, the two, let's see, the two gay twin guys or whatever that you fight that are hilarious.
Yeah.
That just try to like bump you. They're in like chaps and they're in like assless chaps, and they're trying to like ass bump you to death. Hilarious. Like those guys stand out. The cigar smoking guy, like that's a big burly dude, reminds me of like the Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
He cracks me up, and like the main character cracks me up, and the bullshit sexual innuendo he throws out at his partner.
But I mean, I was thinking about games that I love that I could not tell you what's going on. Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 2. Metal Gear Solid 3.
Anything with Metal Gear.
I've
and
beaten
Solid
every
in it.
single Metal Gear game except for the Nintendo games, and I could not tell you really what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At all. 4, at the end of 4, when they apparently tie every Metal Gear game since the Nintendo together into one last little bow at the end.
Yeah.
I was so fucking lost. And I'm like, I have beaten some of these games like that week.
Well, I didn't understand, like, when I first watched it, I was just like, why the fuck is Big Boss, like, choking out Zero? Like, what did he do?
Yeah.
What did he do that made him so mad? But, like...
why are you doing this, boss?
But I'm really interested in the Phantom Pain.
Oh, I'm
and,
interested.
Like, that's more shit that the
TGS?
Tokyo Game Show did. And apparently, I didn't get to see the footage for it yet. But everybody said that it's fucking awesome.
I'm happy. I'll be getting it probably on PC. When is it coming out?
Fuck, I don't even know.
Is it this year or is it out a while? Because it was supposed to come out last year, wasn't it? Originally?
Maybe November? Maybe.
Yeah, I'll definitely...
It might be next year. I don't know.
If it's this year, it'll definitely be PC. If it's next year, it might be next gen. Because I'm planning on getting a next gen console around Bloodborne time.
Yeah.
Bloodborne's in February.
February 6th.
That's a good time for me.
Yeah.
February.
I'm actually glad that it comes out that early in the year because, you know, Dark Souls 2 came out in March and I just felt that was too long. That was a month after.
For me, it came out in April.
Yeah. But I was just like, man, I gotta get it. And,
yeah, Bloodborne looks so good.
It does. And,
I'm into that game. I want to... What's another PS4 game I'm actually excited about? Well, I mean, we could
No
take
Man's
this time to
Sky
take
is, you know...
Yeah. We can take this time to talk about Destiny.
Yeah.
Neither of us have played Destiny. We're like the only people on the planet.
But I'm kind of glad that I didn't buy it just because of the fact that, like... I really am glad that I didn't buy a game that people are enjoying for like 2 weeks and
do you think it's gonna be the Titanfall of?
I don't think it'll go that sour.
Because I mean, Titanfall came out with such a hype train.
But see, that's the thing. That's what we don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
People are complaining about Destiny and giving it like a 79.
Yeah.
And for valid reasons.
Yeah. You read the reviews and you're like, yes, this makes sense.
That's not where our issue is on that. Our issue is that Titanfall came out and was like a 90.
Yeah,
like
people
a 96.
were praising this game as like the second coming of fucking Christ.
And it didn't do fucking shit new for the genre.
4 maps.
Yeah, the game was super fucking dull and just small and shallow.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It wasn't that the game wasn't like fun.
And on PC, 38 gigs of its 48 gig install was fucking audio files.
Yeah.
You fucking pieces of shit.
Well, what
it pissed me off so much.
What sucks about it is that people were criticizing Destiny for those things.
Yeah.
But the fact that Titanfall
gave it a pass.
They gave it a pass. I don't understand.
We were talking about this earlier too. Like, I mean, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 4, groundbreaking game, changed the shooter really. Like everything since then seems to be more of a COD clone.
Yeah.
Except for the few glowing exceptions like Shadow Warrior and some of the throwback games pre-COD.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing game. It deserved the 10s out of 10s.
Yeah.
But each game from that just seems like expansions more than new games.
They seem really shallow in what you're doing. Like,
yeah. So,
okay,
like,
to me it just feels like Carnival, the game like you played on Atari where you had a shooting gallery.
Yeah.
It's like that where you just have enemies that are retarded. They just stand behind a wall, pop and shoot, pop and shoot, pop and shoot. They don't move. Yeah. They don't do anything crazy. It's not like Fear where you're actually like, I'm going to shoot this guy in the face, and he ducks. And you're like, what is he doing? And then he rolls out of the way, and then he
throws a grenade at you to flush you out.
Jumps over into a fucking office from through a broken window, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is this?
The first Fear had such good AI.
It did. Like, it was scary how good the AI was. Anyway, you just got these idiot guys. They're just standing behind a fucking wall, popping and shooting, and they just keep spawning until you move forward past an invisible wall, and then they stop spawning. You can kill those guys, and there are no more that'll appear for that part.
Yeah.
And then you just move to a different section and do the same shit over again.
And
those games get a 98
Yeah,
out
that's
of
why I kind
100.
of wish they wouldn't rate them as games, because to me they seem like expansion packs.
Yeah.
Like Modern Warfare 4 was the game, and it's a 10.
Yeah.
Leave that a 10.
And
then just like rate the other stuff as like expansion content.
Yeah, I tell you what you do. You just split it. The scores based on single player and multiplayer.
Yeah.
Single player experience, it's like, does it add anything new to the genre? Maybe have a separate score like that where maybe that's just one of the things.
Like,
does
or
it
have
do
like
anything
a overall
new
game score and then a replayability score or
Yeah.
a longevity score?
Which,
or
they
something like
used to
that.
have that in magazines back in the day. They'd have a replay value would be moderate or, low to,
I
to
remember,
high.
was it EGM that
EGM
had
had
replayability?
replay value. GamePro had replayability.
I think even,
They even
Game
put-
Informer has a blurb about it, but I don't really know how they do their score rankings.
Yeah.
But replayability is like a little blurb they put on the side.
Which is probably, it'd be best if they did stuff like that still. Because, like, it's really important to know whether because, I don't know, when you're ranking a game as a whole, that's the whole package.
Yeah.
If you're just buying fucking, I don't even know why they release a single player for Call of Duty games most of the time.
Yeah, I don't
Because
either.
nobody fucking plays them.
I mean, I play them just for...
I played them and played through to get through.
It's sad. I think I've probably played more COD single player than I have multiplayer.
Well, I have too, but at the same time, like, there's tons of people that, they bought Ghosts and they bought all this shit and they didn't play through the single player.
Mm-hmm.
Not even touched it. We talked about that before where, like, we knew people that had bought the game, played it for fucking hundreds and hundreds of hours, never had a single trophy in the game.
Yeah.
Because all the trophies were single player trophies.
Yeah.
They never even fucking started the single player campaign.
Yeah.
Because that's not what they bought the game for.
And because of that, though, I mean, think about what if Call of Duty's development and staleness is just a product of its audience.
Yeah.
Developer, I mean, Activision has to give their customers what they want, and what they want apparently is just multiplayer
Of the same stuff.
of the same stuff. So to me, it would make more sense for a game like that to go on a subscription model.
With just new maps.
Yeah.
New maps and maybe some new, like, gameplay styles. Where they just throw in some different game types.
Yeah, to say Call of Duty is
a fucking yearly
subscription
for
$60.
Yeah.
And you play Call of Duty, or it would have to be
It'd
more
be
than
more than
$60,
60, but-
strictly because they pay $15. How much is the Elite thing?
Elite.
Like Call of Duty Elite, which is their subscription.
I don't
thing.
know. I know that they're fucking.
I know it's expensive.
Their fucking special editions of those games are retarded. Like,
Well, they come with
they're like
retarded
100
shit though.
they're like $100.
I remember when Modern Warfare, like I think it was 2, came out, and it came with night vision goggles.
Well, now I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about digital versions.
Oh,
Yeah, like if you went on PSN right now or went on Xbox Live and you looked at their collector's editions of these games, where it's like complete ultimate edition Black Ops 2, fucking $99.99.
nope. Black Ops 2 was an awesome game.
But
It was
but
fun.
fucking $100.
No, I wouldn't pay that.
There's no way I would pay like $100 for a game where I'm not getting anything shit. I'm just getting digital shit. Fuck that. No.
Mhm.
Like, that's $40 extra.
Yeah. Does it come with all the maps at least, like complete?
Well, I'm sure it comes with like season pass and everything.
Because you got to think those map packs cost like $15 a piece, and they come out like once every quarter.
But there's no fucking reason for those either.
No,
like,
there's
not
not.
to cost that much. That's the reason I stopped playing World at War when they had the, everybody was doing the zombie maps.
Yep.
Because everybody was buying the zombie stuff. They didn't give a shit about the maps.
Yeah.
You got the maps with it, but it was like fucking $10 per map pack.
Mm-hmm.
So you're paying $10 to play one zombie map.
Yep.
And there was 4 of them. So that guaranteed they got $40 fucking off of you.
Yep.
And I didn't see that as right.
And it's
like
not
a
a lot of
fucking-
work either. Like I remember making maps for Quake 2.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
And most of these are map sections that are like, they weren't really huge or anything.
Yeah.
You just kind of structured it. They already had the fucking engine built. It's not like they had anything to do, new to do with it. You just kind of put shit together and just like, oh, okay, this is it.
That's why, again, just let's Call of Duty, what it did, 10, Modern Warfare 4. Count everything else is not really new
It's just
games.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. But
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Modern Warfare 4 is
they didn't.
Ghost, isn't it?
Well, no. Yeah, technically.
Because
Yeah.
that's the narrative storyline.
Which it's not even. That one's not even Infinity Ward. Even though it's
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, Sledgehammer. Which
And
is like,
it still has Infinity Ward's name on it.
3 was Sledgehammer as well, wasn't it?
Yes, 3 was the first Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And then Treyarch's were the Black Ops.
Yeah.
And World at War. And that horrible Call of Duty 3.
One.
Yeah. Call of Duty 3 was a pile of shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean,
I think people are being too
about like.
I think people are being too hard on Destiny. I haven't played it, but I just think, or they're being too easy on other games.
I think
they might have just gave Destiny a true review and they just inflate a lot of other reviews.
Yeah, because I think Destiny kind of got the brunt of the frustration that all these other games should have gotten.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think that these other games were inflated by money
and hype. I mean, granted, you can't say that Bungie didn't have any money.
No,
with Activision.
I'm not talking about that type of money. I'm talking about money paid out to like game journalists to inflate the numbers.
Yeah.
I don't think that these games like, I mean, that was like okay, fucking Halo 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was a horrible game compared to Halo 1.
It was.
There was a total letdown. It was the Devil May Cry 2 of the Halo series.
The only people that liked Halo 2 better than 1, I guess maybe multiplayer stuff, but
that's the only reason you would like it. But as far as the single player was shit, and everybody knew that.
It sucked.
It sucked. Well, what did Halo 2 get? Some of the highest fucking scores of any game at the time.
Yep.
It got higher than
9.75.
Yeah, it got higher than Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay,
which was amazing.
Which was a fucking shit ton better game.
It just didn't have multiplayer.
Yeah, but
it was an amazing game.
But I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can't take just multiplayer and write a game that
that story was horrible. The Arbiter missions were horrible.
Yeah.
I've beat
and
Halo
it was super
1.
Short too.
I beat Halo 3. Never beat Halo 2 because it sucked. And
Yeah,
Halo 3 wasn't great.
You didn't miss anything because Halo 2, the ending was horrible. It was just a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And I just, fuck that game. But what pissed me off, though, is it got such high reviews. And then some of these other games that were better didn't get as high. Like Chronicles of Riddick was only like a 92.
Yeah.
And it was a better game.
Mm-hmm.
And how's that work? Like, you know, and...
I think Halo, though, is probably one of the biggest reasons that Destiny's getting the bad reviews. Well, it's not even getting bad reviews.
Yeah.
It's getting the reviews that it deserves, which is probably about a 7.8, 8.
Yeah.
The 8 range is probably what it deserves.
And 8 would be fine in my book. Now, some of these people, they were giving it like, and these were legit reviewers, like as far as like, you know, they have sites and stuff where they just review shit. We're giving it like 5 and 6, and I think that's a lot harsher.
Some of those things on like Metacritic is a pain in the ass.
No. I don't mean Metacritic. I just mean like legit on the site. They were giving it like I'd read a review. They gave it like a 5 or a 6.
See, I don't see.
And I don't see that. It like even.
I could see a 7 be the lowest that you could give that game just because of what it does right.
Yeah, because it's solid.
And it's one of those games that a review this month could be completely invalidated next month depending on what they actually do with the game.
Yeah.
It's very much set up like an MMO.
Yeah.
Like they could flip a switch and the game could be completely different a month down the road. Not to say it's going to be any better.
Yeah.
Just to say that a review today has no reflection on the game tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, even Dark Souls 2, you know, they've been changing shit since day one. It's completely different. There were certain parts of the game where I was going through on you know, the New Game Plus and was getting my ass whipped. And then came back a couple months later and they'd nerfed a lot of the enemies that were whipping my ass because they were so unfair that people were just bitching about it, and kind of rightfully so. But, you know, so I mean, patches nowadays can change the world of gaming.
Yeah, that's one thing that kind of sucks about games in general, like as far as the reviews. It's the responsibility of the reviewers to get a review up as soon as humanly possible, strictly because they're there. The idea of it is to help consumers not waste money or get an idea of what they're spending their money on.
Yeah.
Like, never look at a score of a review, read it, understand what the person is saying, and if you're hearing what they're saying that they dislike it, but you're thinking to yourself, that actually sounds really kind of cool, their score is worthless. All their whole review should be there is to give you an idea of what the game is about.
Yeah.
And then just kind of leave their opinions about the game
out of it.
Just hear their words of what they're describing and say, does that sound appealing?
Does that sound good to me?
And
which, you know,
so they have to get them out there. But the thing is with a patch, if they're complaining like, oh, the game has super bad load times, this part of the game was completely broken, animations were sloppy, and then like a month down the road they release a 6 gig patch
and patch all of it
out, and now you got, if that went into your score and you gave it a 6, shouldn't it then be your responsibility to go back and retroactively bump it up?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I understand that they can't.
Yeah.
Because they got to go on to the next game, but still, it's just...
Yeah, it's like, well, if things get fixed, then it's not an issue
And see,
anymore,
those reviews kind of suck. Yeah, because, I mean, first impressions are everything with reviews now, so...
Which...
It doesn't matter if you fix it a month down the road. If your game sucked on day one, it now on the internet database of reviews has sucked for life.
Yeah. Which, you know, that's what makes me wonder about the Destiny thing is, you know, we were kind of saying when it first came out and they didn't have review copies. I mean, we knew it was because the servers weren't up, and that was kind of like the major
felt
thing.
Something, though.
But it was weird.
It hurt me in my gut, because I'm just like, I feel... this is done to keep people's pre-orders. Because I just had a gut feeling that this game was not going to be the godsend that people has made it out to be. And it was going to get... I was expecting higher than it's gotten. But I was expecting...
kind of lukewarm
reception. I just felt that it seemed fishy.
Well, it's kind of like how Sims 4 did.
Yeah, and Sims 4 was same thing. They wanted to keep those pre-order dollars.
Yeah.
My wife loves Sims 4.
Yeah.
She plays it all the time. And I just straight up asked her, like, what's a better game? Sims 3 or Sims 4? And this is what she said, which is the most politician answer ever. She's like, they're different games. I'm like, which do you like better? She's like, well, I like this, 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 and this in Sims 4. But I like this, 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 and this in Sims 3. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff she said she liked in Sims 3 is stuff that came with expansions later. So it's hard to do an apples to apples comparison. Like, what's better, Vanilla Sims 4 or Vanilla Sims 3?
Yeah.
Because Sims 3's had 1,001.
But at the same time,
packs.
When you have all those expansion packs, you figured that they would go into Sims 4
with
all that stuff in mind of like growth
think.
from that.
Here's my thing with Sims 4. Sims 3 had all this shit added to expansion packs. You've already built these systems. I'm not a game programmer. I do not understand things, but The Sims 4 didn't seem like that big of a graphical leap from Sims 3. They look kind of the same, and honestly, Sims 3 has a lot bigger worlds and a lot fewer loaded screens. Now, the load screens you see in Sims 3 are god-awful and take forever, but when they load, you're like... done. You play the game.
Yeah.
Sims 4 has a load screen every couple clicks.
Yeah.
It's a lot shorter, but there's a lot more of them. You would think that they would build on the systems they've already built.
Yeah.
You know, they got Sims 3. Sims 3 has pets. They got jobs where you don't just go to work, you actually can then do the job. Like that was one of my wife's favorite expansions was like she was an interior designer, so when her sim went to work, her sim just didn't go away and like it sped up time. She would go talk to customers and interior and design rooms and stuff like that, and then she would get rated in money based on her performance.
Yeah. And
she really liked that, and none of that stuff's in Sims 4, but it will be added later, charging $20 a pop probably.
Yeah. It sucks that there's so many companies that just build their whole model on, well, we'll put it in later and charge people for it.
Yeah.
Because DLC is to fix all the things that they were too lazy to do in the first place. I don't dig that. That's why there's a lot of games that I don't buy DLC for.
I don't buy season passes ever. Strictly because it's like I'm paying you for something that I hope I'm going to like. It's like I'm trusting you to do something cool with the money I'm giving you.
Yeah.
And I just
Well,
don't.
like, okay,
I don't buy into it.
Borderlands 2 would have been the only like seasons pass thing in the past long time that I probably would have been cool with. That and the Dark Souls 2 DLC stuff looks really cool. Now, I'm glad that I didn't get a season pass because I mean I'm gonna have to go through that entire fucking game again. Just
Which one?
Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
Just to get to where I can use any of the DLC because it's all near the end of the game, and I'm on New Game Plus, and then I had a character that's not really that far in the game. So, and that what's crazy about that is I own the first DLC for it, and I don't know if I'll ever get to the end of it again because I got so many games that I'm playing that I really just haven't been playing Dark Souls 2 at all. And
well, that's a commitment game.
Yeah,
like you have to commit time.
Yeah, and you have to
game.
want to do it again. And there's some sections of that game that I just dread going back through. But especially on New Game Plus, Jesus Christ. But
I mean Borderlands.
But Borderlands 2, like,
I bought the Game of the Year edition.
Well, see, I did for the first one.
Yeah.
Well, no. I bought the first one, then bought all the DLCs later. Which the DLCs for it were a little lackluster on the. Like, you had the Mad Moxie one, which is just a fucking glorified arena respawn thing. Which, you know...
Those are my least favorite missions in Borderlands 2.
Oh, yeah, they're horrible. But Borderlands 2's DLC is fucking crazy awesome.
See, I haven't played any of it because I still haven't beat Borderlands 2. I'm right at the end.
Yeah.
Like, I am right at the fucking end.
Yeah,
I just gotta finish it.
Expansion shit in 2 was great.
See, I don't own any of the expansion shit in 2... And the reason I haven't is because sometimes the season pass goes on sale for $9, but also it's the same price as the Game of the Year edition, which comes with the game and all the expansions, and it just pisses me off. And on principle, I don't buy it.
Yeah,
but I'm going to one day.
Yeah, it's worth it because they added like really fun.
I'm cool with the season pass after all the DLC that's included in the season pass is out. Yeah. And then I can make an informed decision if it's worth it.
Yeah.
But like the Destiny season pass, I don't know why anybody would buy that.
I'm sure there are plenty of people that did.
I find with you buying it once the first DLC's out.
It's a guarantee that they have your money whether you keep the product or not.
Yeah.
So there's some people that won't even redeem season passes because they bought the game and then they trade the game in because they didn't want it.
I mean, you were saying that the people are already talking to you about like they're done with Destiny. Like
they're pretty much tapped.
Yep.
They don't want to play it anymore.
Now, I wonder how long that's going to last, though.
I don't know. And some people, it's weird because, like, okay, when I bought The Last of Us, the remastered on PS4, they had a deal at GameStop where you could trade in your PS3 copy and get the game for, like, $20. And, you know, the HD version had, like,
the DLC and everything.
And it was up-res and everything, and it like retextured. It was really nice. But I was like, I'm never going to play the PS3 version again. Might as well just do it. And I was one of the only people that traded that game in because no one else had it. They traded it in like not long after the game came out.
Well, see, I personally never trade games in, like ever.
Yeah.
Very rarely have I ever traded a game in, and take that back. Traded in Diablo 3 for Diablo Reapers of Souls,
which I did that too.
With Diablo 3.
It made it super fucking cheap.
Yeah,
even for trading in the PS3 version to get the PS4 one.
Well, because they still gave you like $13 or $14 for the PS3 version, because that's what I used.
Yeah,
and then we got Reaper of Souls. I think it was like $30.
Yeah,
total.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap. And I was shocked. So, and that's like I kind of wonder with Grand Theft Auto 5 if they're going to do something like that.
Yeah.
Because if they do, then cool. Because I bought Grand Theft Auto 5 for PS3. Love it. It plays really well, but man, I'm going to get that PS4 version.
I'm going to get the PC version when it comes out in January.
Yeah.
Because I'll be looking forward to that. Honestly, the best part of GTA 4 was mods.
5's just fun all around.
Yeah.
It's fun to play online. It's fun to... it's really fun online if you're playing with your friends.
I don't know why
because you just get into crazy shit.
This is going back to the trade-in thing. I don't understand why people trade in games so fast. Strictly because
attention spans.
Yes, you've bought it. Basically, why didn't you just rent it?
Because rental stores really don't exist anymore.
GameFly.
Yeah, but
If you're gonna just, I mean, you
you
can
know how
play.
the queues work on that. Like,
No, I do know how the queues work now. Here's how, if you have a GameFly subscription and you are pissed that you're not getting the games that you want, here's what you have done. You have set up your queue. Don't. Delete every game that's in your queue and only put the game that you want there. And you will get higher priority than someone else that has that game at number 1 but has other games in their queue.
wow.
My friend, my former supervisor has a GameFly,
Mm-hmm.
and I told him that I had one, but I canceled it because I never got the games that I wanted. He goes, "Let me guess, you filled up your queue with games that you wanted and the priority you wanted them." I go, "Yeah, that's what a queue's for." He's like, "That's where you fucked up." It's like, I always get the games that I want because I just put one game top queue, and it makes him a higher priority because he doesn't have any other games to send.
Makes sense.
So, boom. That's how you get your GameFly going.
Well, then a lot of these people, I guess, just don't know.
Yeah.
Or they don't care. But some of this stuff, like, it kind of surprises me. Digital market on Steam, excellent.
Yep.
Digital market on consoles needs to get its fucking act together. Because just yesterday, I went on, because, okay, I bought, like, I traded in a game today that I was not fucking playing, and got, you know, Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z, which had gone down to $10 new.
Yep.
You know how much it is on the PS3, like on PSN Network
40.
store? $59.99. It
Yep.
is full fucking price.
And here's why.
They've had price drops on that game for months now.
Yep.
It's dropped down to like 30 and then 20. Now it's at 10. Brand new.
Yeah.
That's lower than pretty much any game I'd seen. And it's not a horrible game. It's just, I guess they were like, either they made money on it or they haven't made money and they're just like, seriously, buy this fucking game, please.
Well, I mean, here's why
But-
that you don't see digital prices going down on the consoles as much as you do on the PC. The PC games only exist digitally. There's no store that, there's no shelf space that the PC, no one owns PC, but there's like, if you release a PC game, you don't have to like beg Walmart to put your game on a store shelf.
Yeah.
Where still,
Which, I mean, they still do have cases where they put
but they're,
PC games.
Find them.
Yeah.
They're not like prominently displayed, and they're just there to be there, and they're normally like really old, and like I saw an APB case at or Walmart.
There's some that are there that are newer, but
I mean,
there's a lot of old ones.
PC could give a shit if their games are on your shelf or not because everyone buys the games digitally.
Yeah.
Still, the majority of revenue that comes from consoles and brick and mortar stores.
Yeah.
Well, those brick and mortar stores don't want to compete with their digital stores, so that's why there has to be price parity. Or Walmart will be like, okay, you're taking money away from me, so I'll take money away from you and just take your games off our shelves.
Yeah. But it just still, like, it just shocks me
If Xbox...
that they wouldn't catch up on, as far as, like, it's not so much about, I want them to compete with Steam's prices. It's just compete with the store's fucking prices.
The only... Well, see, it's just... Until the stores are gone, you're not going to see prices like you're going to see on PC.
Yeah.
Just because the stores exist.
But it's sad when I can go to the store and get that price.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Yaiba being $10 new, that's fucking brilliant. Like, as far as I was expecting to pay $20 for it because it was $20 like 2 weeks ago.
See, I bought Dark Sector new for $10, and I bought the Bionic Commando new for $10.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of something else. Because I'm sure there is another example.
Which I remember buying Bionic Commando at $60 on day one.
Yeah.
And us going home and playing it because we were just super fucking stoked. I don't even know if I had... Yeah, I had an HDTV then. That was back when I had my ILO that broke down. That fucking piece of shit. But yeah, I was trying to think of... Square Enix apparently announced something about some kind of a cloud thing.
Fuck Square Enix.
Like cloud gaming service or some shit that they're trying to do. And I don't know.
I'm done with cloud gaming. I think it's trash.
And what's bad is like in Japan it's different because their internet is like...
It's better than ours.
The fucking shit. And they could do cloud gaming.
Yeah.
We can't. Not at what we're stuck at with our
No.
capped fucking bullshit. The only place near here that you can get badass internet is EPB.
Yeah, Chattanooga, they have gig internet to the house. It is like a fiber line from a gig switch straight to your home.
Yeah.
And you have a gig up, gig down,
Yeah.
and it's cheaper than my Charter connection for 30 meg.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. It
So
is $60 for a fucking gig
So
of internet.
if you don't believe that that you know your companies like that are throttling the fuck out of your bandwidth, then that's proof right there that that they are.
Yeah,
And-
EPB has put Comcast out of business
Yeah.
in their area to the point where they sold.
Yeah.
Charter bought them.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I don't know. Charter's like, we want to fail in Chattanooga too.
Yeah, because there's not going to be any other internet. You cannot compete.
I
with
ran
that.
into a Comcast repair person at a gas station, and I was like, "You guys."
Was he homeless?
Well, he was just at a gas station sitting there. I'm like, "You guys, do you have a job?" He was like, "Dude, it's bleak." That's what he said. It's bleak. I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah,
Learn to lay fiber, motherfucker.
because you can't compete.
Yeah, well, it's because they suck.
Yeah, and EPB, not only that, they have excellent customer service
Yep.
here.
Yeah, they're the shit.
You know, you have a call center here where you talk to the person and like you're in the same city as them. It's not something where
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, EPB is not. It's a municipal.
oh, I know, it's
place.
just
It's a utility company.
yeah,
They
it's-
do power and shit,
Yeah.
and now they do the greatest internet in the United States.
but it's pretty awesome.
It is.
I just wish we had it.
Yeah, it makes me want to burn my city to the ground.
I mean, we're close. If we were like, if you could just roll some fiber wire.
Yeah.
God damn it! You know it's early in the morning and late at night
Yeah.
when you say fiber wire. If you could just roll some fiber optics our way, about
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
We'd be good.
Yeah, maybe they're just gonna do it in Japan because I did one on live. I tried that shit out and it was so bad. I remember trying to play Deus Ex Human Revolution on live, and I'm like, wow, this is a fucking worthless pile of shit.
Yeah.
And then I tried Gaikai before Sony bought it, and God, I tried to play Bulletstorm on it. Worthless pile of shit. Like the stuff that the PS4 does with the Vita, as far as like local internet goes, that seems to be pretty tight.
Yeah.
I just
As
don't
long as
think,
you're not too far away.
yeah, I just don't know PlayStation Now. I just don't think that's gonna pan like they want it to pan.
And see, it makes me wonder if in PlayStation Now you don't actually download the game.
You don't. It's stream.
Is it?
Yeah, from what I understand, it's stream.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how optimized that would be.
I just don't. I think it's gonna be trash. I think they're.
I think the subscription rates is what's going to kill that.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to rent a game that's $12 for $8?
I'll give you a hint. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody. It's doomed to fail by stupid pricing.
Yeah. It's bad when EA's subscription thing, when they
It's more
originally
fair.
announce it, is more fair than yours. If
Yeah.
EA's beating you out on a deal, you fucked up.
Yeah, you gone and fucked up.
You done fucked up. So, I don't know. But,
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think cloud rendering stuff like that, and
Yeah.
then like the input lag is gonna be there. It's just.
but you know, that Azure cloud.
Oh, the Azure cloud? You mean the Azure cloud that no game could operate without? That's
Yeah.
why they're only on the Xbox One, even though we've
Yeah.
had every single Xbox One launch exclusive on the PC
And
running better.
did you see Rise at max settings? They
I did.
released a video the other day, and I shared it on my Facebook because I was like, man, what a beautiful game. Too bad the game does not have the gameplay to back it up. Now, I will give it this.
Well, it's 4K on the PC if you
Oh,
have
yeah,
something that
no,
can render it.
yeah,
It
I
looks
know.
fucking amazing.
And it does look fucking amazing. I watched that max settings video, and I'm surprised that my computer could even run the video.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Even though the video's downscaled,
I know,
and you're just like,
you're
my
just
computer
my
blew
computer's
up.
gonna like melt. But I watched that video, and I will say that like I do have to give it to Crytek on like trying,
Yeah.
because the game is gorgeous, and the gameplay seems like, you know, they came as close to a game had come to like being a 300 type thing. Because the action, they really tried with the, you know, like them doing the cool moves where they're like doing, you know, 180 degree spin stabs and stuff, where they're, you know, they really tried with the action. It just was clunky. And
Yeah, it looked super cool,
yeah.
but it was kind of a shitty game.
I mean, I hate that
Yeah.
because I like Crytek.
Well, apparently Crytek doesn't like Crytek. They're dead. Like all their employees pretty much left because they stopped paying them.
Oh,
Funny thing about employees,
you kind of need to pay.
Yeah,
them.
if you don't pay them, they kind of say "fuck you," and they have no problem talking to news outlets about how you fucked them.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it sucks because Crytek, man. If you don't remember when the first Far Cry came out,
Oh, I do.
you have an injustice has been done to you because that game came out with no fanfare by a developer no one had ever fucking heard of, and you just play it and you're like, holy shit, this is the shooter I've been waiting for my entire fucking life.
Which I will say that the first time I played it was the day it came out. Her friend had pirated it.
Yeah.
And he's like, this game Far Cry came out. It's supposed to have an engine that can render like up to a mile.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the most insane thing you've ever seen. And I'm just like, okay, how's this even gonna run on a computer?
Yeah.
And then like, it just runs perfectly.
Yeah.
Because the way that the fucking engine was optimized, and we're just like, how is this running on your PC, dude? Like,
it was insane. It
yeah,
was one of those. It was the first game I really remember playing where I had a pair of binoculars, or I would see something like way out in the distance where you would normally wouldn't even games didn't even have draw distances that far.
Yeah.
But you would just see something like vaguely blurry way far in the distance, and then you'd pull out binoculars, and that blurry thing would turn into a thing that was in focus.
Yeah.
And then you'd zoom in those binoculars, and not only was it in focus, but then you see people there.
Yeah.
Walking around, AI people walking around.
Doing stuff.
And then you realize, and then you think to yourself, can I walk over there?
And you sure
and then
fucking
you
can.
fucking walk over there. It was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, the game, and then not only that, the AI of the enemies was really fucking good. I mean, it was to the point where, like, you're just like, oh man, there's a guy, okay, like, if you're walking on a beaten path, and there's a guy in front of you, what are you going to do? You're going to go off the beaten path and try to sneak around and, like, hit him from behind or something.
Yeah.
This game, it didn't work that way. You could go off the beaten path and it'd be a good thing, but you're going to make a shitload of noise.
Yeah.
Because you're probably going to walk too fast.
Mhm.
Then the guy hears you and he comes to investigate.
And he's like, is that fucker with the Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah, and they always commented on your Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah,
and then he brings his buddies and they kill you.
Yeah.
But
It was a hard game. And then it gets all sci-fi and shit.
Yeah.
Now if you
Trunk
played
monkeys.
Far Cry 2, don't expect Far Cry 1
to be anything like Far
anything
Cry 2.
related to it.
Now, I will say that a lot of people now have probably played Far Cry 1 because they came out with Far Cry Classic on the PS3 and the 360. But I will say, it is a huge injustice to that game.
Yeah.
Just because the frame rates are like 30 and below.
What?
Yes.
That game played it like over
They fucked up
100
they
on,
fucked
like,
up the
decent
frame rate.
PC
and I
builds.
don't know how they didn't get it optimized, but it has a shit frame rate. That's why I didn't buy Far Cry Classic.
Yeah. I guess I'll just have to keep playing it on my PC with the 64-bit executable.
Yeah.
Because it was also one of the first games that came out that had a 64-bit version.
Yeah, it's one of the sweetness.
Yeah.
I love the
And then,
Far Cry,
Crysis was amazing.
Crysis
Did they at
was
least do
amazing.
the port of the first Crysis justice?
It's decent. It's still like the frame rate dips some,
I mean,
but it's
to be honest, that
it's in the
game's-
Crysis 2 engine.
Oh, okay. Well, the first Crysis still lags my computer a little bit in certain areas.
Yeah,
like,
they did it in the Crysis 2 engine. So
that's why I just
it's a
do.
little
I don't do
smoother.
enthusiast settings. I just do like enhanced or something. There's like 8 different graphical settings you can put your shit on, and like the highest setting, it still bogs down my computer, and I'll be running it like I'll dip below 60 and go sometimes all the way down to like 42.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck that. So I just like turn some
I
shit
had to
down.
run when I ran my PC that can actually run Crysis. I ran it medium settings to like 40.
Now Crysis 2, I can
It's
smoke.
like 46. No, it was first Crysis.
Yeah,
But it was but I mean I ran it like 45 frames max.
I bought Crysis 2
or average.
and the Maximum Edition on Steam when it was on
Which
sale.
I have that.
And it runs like butter.
Yeah, I don't
And it looks good.
I don't think I could even touch it on my
I
computer.
mean, it's not as big as Crysis though. Like,
Yeah,
it's a
it's-
corridor shooter,
corridor,
and
yeah.
and Crysis 1 is like Far Cry, the first one, a huge open world.
Which, yeah, I've got, like, I realize that my laptop will not play Fear really well. Like,
Well, it's probably. Well, I mean, your laptop's played other Unreal 3 games.
yeah.
Is Fear Unreal 3?
Actually,
I don't
no,
know.
I
I don't know what Monolith uses. It might be a proprietary engine.
I think it is, and that may be the reason that Fear 1 didn't run really great on like the PS3.
Well, Fear 1 was a hoss in general.
Oh
Like
yeah.
when Fear 1 came out, that was a graphical powerhouse.
Well, because like we talked about, the effects and stuff that would happen. Like you'd shoot something that would splinter or like explode dust
Particle
everywhere
effects
and particle
and stuff were
effect.
really cool.
Yeah, it was Monolith was ahead of their game on that one.
The first Fear is amazing. Fear 2 is not that good.
It's
Fear
decent,
3 is better than Fear 2, but not for the reasons that Fear 1 was amazing.
Yeah.
Fear 3 is just a badass, fun first-person shooter that seems to be all about having fun.
Yeah.
Blowing shit up. There's like arcadey, like shit popping up everywhere about like how many kills you get.
Yeah, it's all about point racketing. Like, it's like an arcade game.
It's an arcade shooter. Fear 1 is more suspense thriller shooter.
And it's hard.
And it is a hard fucking game.
Because Monolith did not play all their old games. Like, those were the games that, as you know, when we were younger, we pretty much trained on games like that. You go back and play like Blood, like the first Blood, that is one of the hardest fucking first-person shooters I have ever played in my life.
It is fucking hard.
Blood 2 was difficult. Shogo was a badass fucking game, and it was hard as shit. Fear 1 is fucking difficult. Monolith, man, they didn't play. They made excellent first-person shooters.
What have they done
hard
since
as balls.
the Gotham?
They've actually been doing tons of shit, but they
have been mobile or like
download? It's been like you just have to look them up. But
Gotham City Imposters is the last thing I remember them doing.
They've actually been doing a lot of stuff. It's just been more like side games for people. I mean, they've not been bad. Like a lot of them have been really good, but they passed Fear off to Day One Studios after 2. Yeah. So Day One did Fear 3.
They did Fear 2, didn't they? That was a disappointment.
It was probably the first disappointment I ran into with Monolith, other than Blood 2.
Because Fear,
I think sequels are their bane.
Fear 1 was so cool because you would walk into a map and you would realize that the map was so open the enemies could really attack you from any angle.
Yeah,
and so you had to
you didn't know where they were at.
You don't know where they're at. You don't know where they're going to come from but wherever the enemies could come from, you could also come from because the maps were just these big open like arenas, and you just would plot your way through it, and it was really cool. Where Fear 2 was literally you would walk through a set of double doors, and then you'd have a hallway.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the hallway, there was another set of double doors, and they would open, and then shit would just run at you in single file line, and you would just hold the trigger down.
Yeah.
Fear 3 isn't as open as Fear 1, but there was a whole lot more.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
variety.
that. It wasn't as bad as
the
Fear
first
2.
one though, like, I mean, when I was playing through it today, I was trying to figure out.
Oh, you were playing the first one today?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I was just trying to test it on the laptop and see how it worked. Which, like I said, it was like it's kind of subpar on the frames. Like it did okay, but maybe it was some of the things that I could have turned off and it would have worked fine.
Yeah, you might have to turn off some of the lighting effects and stuff like that.
I just went with its recommended settings, and it was on medium. I didn't go through the advanced settings, but yeah, there was one of the things I'd forgotten is like your aim. You really have to focus your aim, because if you don't, the recoil will scatter you so much that like if somebody's really far away, it's not like those games where you just aim, you point and shoot.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that with Fear. You have to focus. It's almost like you have to either zoom and make that reticle as small as possible, or just wait a second. It's almost like he breathes a little bit and eases it into the shot, and then you fire. If you just fire as soon as you see him, you're not gonna fucking hit him. No. And then they know where you are. Yeah. And you're fucked.
Because they will flush you out with grenades. They will flank you.
And there's no regenerating health in that game.
Yeah.
It is full on. You are fucked unless you have health packs and tons of them. And you better quick save like a bastard.
Yeah.
So
that game is so much fun.
It really is, especially when you get the shotgun. Because shotgun plus slow motion
is awesome.
Is amazing.
I wish I had this on video. One of the enemies jumps off the side of a wall and he's coming down at me, and I was in slow motion. I just look up and I shoot like at his crotch because he's coming down at me, and his leg breaks off, and flips twice in the air, and then he pretty much kicks himself in the head with his severed like foot, and then he just like falls down on the ground. It was fucking badass.
Yeah.
That game is so awesome.
It really is.
And grenades are so satisfying in that game because first of all, they're hard to get because you kind of have to cook them.
Yeah.
And when you throw one and it lands, and you just see like just blood mist.
Yeah, it's just blood mist. And shotgun will do that sometimes.
Yep.
Where you will be in slow motion shooting people with a shotgun, and all of a sudden you're running through a blood cloud.
Yeah,
because that's all that's left of somebody. But
Fear's the shit.
It is. If you have not checked Fear out on PC, or even the 360 version is really good. It's
the 360 version is solid. The PS3 version is pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. It's like my laptop right now.
It goes sub 30 quite a few times.
So it wasn't completely optimized. So I would recommend either the 360 version or the PC one. Yeah. But if you haven't checked out Fear and you like first-person shooters,
you can buy it like for $2 used on 360. It's so dirt cheap, and it comes with some expansions, but they're not canon.
Yeah,
so you can ignore them. I mean, they're cool. Like Extraction Point's a really cool expansion, but it
and
doesn't.
Perseus Mandate and all that.
Yeah, it doesn't add any. It's like an alternate universe because 2 does not acknowledge their existence.
No, but if it's some cool filler stuff, if you want to blow some more shit up.
Yep, which I did. It was fun. It's worth playing.
So yeah.
I think it's honestly worth playing more than Fear 2. I think it's cooler than Fear 2.
Yeah.
But I guess we could do our weekly recap of everything we've just said. We started out, we're playing games still. That's good.
Yeah, we'll keep doing so.
Bloodborne's the shit.
Yep.
PT's really awesome, and now I'm going to have to watch a bunch of other people's PT videos again.
Yeah, I'll
now that shit's been pointed out to me. Silent Hill could be cool.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be third person, so it'll be neat, I think.
Story in games, maybe it's important.
Yeah, maybe we'll care at some point.
Certain stories, I guess I could remember. I'm trying to think of. It sucks when I'm on the spot like this. I can't think of one game story that I could relay to you.
Well, as far as like anything important, no.
I can relay experiences I've had with the game, like my own personal stories with it. But I can't a narrative.
No,
I'm going a blank on even what The Last of Us is about, and that whole game's a fucking narrative.
I kind of remember some of that.
It's fucking disease, little girls, fucking like, she's a carrier, not a shower.
Yeah.
They want to get her blood. I don't know. Is it a vampire game?
No.
I can't remember.
No vampires.
Well, it was a good story. I enjoyed it, but I couldn't. I think I had more fun playing the game than I did watching the story unfold, that's the way games should be. Yeah. You should enjoy the game more than you enjoy the narrative, in my personal opinion. Yeah. Unless the game only is narrative, and then if you don't enjoy the narrative, the game's kind of a big pile of shit, and you should throw in the fucking garbage. Review scores, they're worthless. Don't look at them. Read the reviews. Reviews are not worthless. Okay, reviews, not worthless. Read them. Review scores, ignore them. Worthless.
Yeah.
Metacritic, don't ever go there.
Yeah, no.
Listen to people's opinions on the games. Listen to their explanations on why they dislike the games.
And if they have explanations of why.
Yeah.
If they're just saying, game sucks.
Yeah.
Hated it. And you're like, okay, that's not valid.
Worthless.
Yeah, that's some poor chode that thought he had an opinion and he really just shit out of his mouth.
Yeah. Destiny, we haven't played it, so we can't truly have an opinion on it.
No.
We think it's probably getting the review scores it deserves. It's just that it's coming after a lot of shitty games that got way inflated reviews. And shitty is a strong word. Games that got higher reviews than they deserve.
Titanfall's not necessarily a shitty game. It's just shallow and
shouldn't have got the 9s.
Shouldn't have got a 9s and stuff. It should have got more what Destiny's getting.
Yeah.
Or less, because it's even less of a game than Destiny was.
Yeah.
Which I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's.
And goddamn it, 38 gigs worth of audio files. You fucking pieces of shit.
I guess I can't say much on that because Metal Gear Solid 4 was probably like 90% audio.
Yep, on their discs. Yeah. You know why they do that, don't you?
Uncompressed.
Yeah, they do it uncompressed, but not because it's like better quality. It's just it takes the system it's easier for the system to play them because they're not having to encode. It's just the raw audio.
Gotcha.
So the reason, from what I've read, the reason that the fucking Titanfall has all that uncompressed audio on the disc is so lower end computers can run it. But you know what I say to that? If you have a lower end computer, don't fucking run it. Get it for the 360.
Oh god.
Or get it for the One.
Which the Xbox
Which the
One
One is
like
a lower end computer.
Well, and it's sub 30 frames.
Yep. So it's trash. That's I mean, if you're a game, I mean, by that definition, Destiny's trash too. If you're a game and you were 30 frames, you're trash to me. I'm taking that stance.
I'm pretty sure Bloodborne's supposed to be lock 30, but
yeah, but it's not a first person shooter, and I'll cut it some slack. Yeah. But
yeah, I think it'll work solid at 30.
I mean, every game like this that I've played has been 60 because I've played it on the PC. I won't have an opportunity to do that. But I think the way the game, if the game was a game kind of like Devil May Cry or like Metal Gear Solid Revengeance or Metal Gear Revengeance,
I'm pretty sure Metal Gear Revengeance is 60.
It's 60
because it's the Vanquish's
It's
engine.
crazy to me. Go back to the PS2 era. So many games run at 60 frames per second.
Jack and Daxter's fucking rocking 60.
And then you go to the PS3 era and the 360 era.
Most of them's 30.
What the fuck?
720p.
What the fuck? That is not a step forward. That's not next gen. That's garbage.
That's why I'm glad that the PS4 is rocking 1080p, 60 frames on pretty much everything.
Fucking trash Destiny. 0 out of a billion. 0. 30 frames per second. Fuck your game.
That sounds like those reviews that those people write on Metacritic
that
we were talking about, or the 0 out of 100.
Listen to my reason. 30 frames per second. Need I say more?
Those pleb frames.
Okay, it is probably an 8, but you have to do that. You have to multiply it
by 0.
By 0 for the 30 frames per second, which makes it a 0. Well, see you next time, podcast. Don't play Destiny because it's a piece of shit. It's 30 frames per second.
This is just anger week.
Yeah.
This is like back to the second episode.
This is
yeah. Because the first episode we had a lot of funny stuff.
Yeah, we didn't have really much of anything funny this time.
Episode 2 was like berating everything, and then this is back to episode 2. This is where we berated everything for 2 hours.
But I mean, no one hears this part.
Yeah,
we're to the point of no man.
If we were past 5 minutes, we were part of the no man.
Yeah, exactly.
Part. Now, I will say that some people apparently watched or listened to like 35 minutes of the other one. That was probably you, though.
No, I watched the whole thing. Anywhere I can hear my voice, it is 100% washed.
Well, then, either that or like it was averaging you with someone who had a really low average on what they watched.
Yeah, because I watched the whole fucking kit and caboodle.
Okay. Yeah, then it probably was you averaged in with a lot of low people because we
could say whatever we want right now. We could plot assassinations.
But let's not do that.
But let's not do that because if anyone is listening, it is their good friends at the NSA.
Yeah, and we don't want them to be angry. So,
it's been fun for me.
Yeah, and me as well.
For you guys, we're sorry to hear us, because I mean, I'm sure I'll have to re-listen to it, but I think like the first 40 minutes is us just kind of monotonely talking about weird.
I think that's
stuff.
Every week, isn't it? Pretty much.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll spice it up next time with some, I don't know, Russian roulette or something. I don't know. We'll come up with some idea. What are you gonna be playing?
I'm gonna continue on Yaiba and Devil May Cry. I might even do fucking playthrough of Deadpool. It's a fun game.
Yeah, Deadpool's the shit.
So
I had so much fun playing that game.
So yeah, might do that.
I'm gonna be playing Onimusha. I'm gonna try to somehow hack the game to where I can side with the demons, because I'm totally down with the shit they're throwing. And I'll be playing Soldier of Fortune, blowing off dicks and blowing off faces, and
making them do the titty shake.
Hopefully, did a shake. Hopefully, I will be going through some of my indie game libraries, because I've been slacking on that, and making a when the fuck did I buy this? When the hell did I buy this? When the fuck did I buy this is on my edgier show. That's
the
on
Twitch account.
Yeah, that's my Twitch show. When the fuck did I buy this? And hopefully those videos will be up sometime. I'm gonna try to record a bunch of videos this weekend and not worry about editing them, and then edit them through the week, so I can have more videos up through the week. Because editing is the bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I only have a set amount of time that I can actually make videos, but I kind of have unlimited amount of time of when I can edit them.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna fucking throw a bunch of dog shit to a wall and see what sticks.
Sounds good.
So this has been Lou Garp, the Dancing Fetus.
And I goddamn it.
Have a good whenever the
Fucking
fuck
week.
you listen to this. You sad sacks.
And we'll see. We'll see you next week.